Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another video, and in today's video we're going to be making what in my opinion would be the best loot pool in Fortnite. So without further ado, be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get right into it. So starting with our loot pool, we do have 5 categories that we're going to be working with. We have weapons, we have items slash throwables, we have healing and shields, vehicles, and traps. Now, quick minor disclaimer, this does not include the items and weapons that were included in Chapter 3 Season 1. So as we go over each category, I will include what was introduced this season into what would be my perfect loot pool. So starting off with the weapons that we have here, we have the ARs, and it looks like some of these have been copied over multiple times. This, of course, is not my tier list, so if we see anything that's duplicated, we'll just skip right over it. Starting off with the ARs, of course, I think we definitely should include the traditional AR and the scars. For ARs, I would include the MK7 that was introduced this season. I love the MK7. I think it's a really fun weapon to use, but you also cannot hate at all with the old traditional AR, so I think we definitely have to include that. Some other ARs that I think we should include would definitely have to be the burst. I don't know how I would feel about, I don't know the difference between these two. We'll just assume that it's this one. I don't know if I would say it would be the one that shoots 3 or 2. I think 2 was a bit more balanced, so we'll just go ahead and just say it's the nerfed version of these. AKs, definitely not. Those I think are the worst ARs that have ever graced Fortnite. Maybe the scoped ARs, I don't really like these weapons at all. Thermal, I would say thermal, yes, because it's a different item and can make things a bit more interesting. I know we're supposed to get like a more traditional AR with a thermal in Chapter 3 Season 2, so that's going to be really interesting to see how that goes down. Going into some more weapons, going through the scope, don't need those. LMGs, I'm gonna say no on the LMGs. I know some people might like the LMGs, but personally I'm going to have to go ahead and skip them. For the infantry rifles, I love these weapons a lot. I think this is a weapon that actually really rewards accuracy, and it's a really fun weapon to use. I hope infantry rifles do come back next season, but if they don't, it's definitely okay, but we're definitely going to include it in my perfect loot pool. As for the tech AR, I used to like this weapon a lot, but I think the MK is much better, so we're going to leave it out. The minigun, I'm going to say no to the minigun, and I'm going to say no to the drum gun. I know a lot of people might like this, but after witnessing the spray meta that was of Chapter 3 Season 1, I'm not really fond of a lot of spray weapons, so we're probably just going to leave these two out. Some people might like them. I know a lot of people do like the drum guns, but as for me, I'm going to say that it's going to be a no. Going on into the silenced AR, I'm just gonna leave that out. I didn't really care much for the silent AR. For our SMGs, I think we definitely need to include the tactical SMG. I really love that weapon. P90 I think was fine. We have the I want to say it's like 2 different type of rapid fires. We'll just include this one. We'll say this is the rapid fire. I think all the older SMGs were fine. Anything from like this season, the Stinger SMG, if it gets a nerf to it, maybe, but as many times as they've nerfed it throughout this season and it still is very OP, we're not going to be including the Stinger SMG from this season. We're going to leave to the more OG and traditional SMGs in Fortnite. Going on into some of our pistols, I think pistols are definitely fine. I know especially the like purple and golden are very powerful, and I know a lot of people actually do like them, so we'll go ahead and keep it. Revolvers, the scoped revolver, not really too much. The 6-shooter, not really. The flintlock, I think a lot of people like the flintlock. I know a lot of people like to do some trick shots with flintlocks, so yeah, we'll include the flintlocks. The deagles, okay, we have the newer version of the deagle and then the old picture. They're basically the same weapon, so we'll just include this. I actually really like deagles. I think they're a fun weapon to use, so definitely 100% including the deagles. Silent pistol, not really much. Oh, we did skip one, the dualies. I don't really think people cared much for the dualies, especially the newer versions with like the like hop rock version of the dualies. So we're gonna skip dualies and we're gonna skip the silent pistol. Pumps, 100% yes. I don't know what really is the difference between these two pictures, but we'll also include, we'll say the old pumps. I think they're pretty much the same, but yeah, pumps in general, yes, I think they should come back. Now for these shotguns, I'll say yes. I think a lot of people liked it. I think this was actually a mythic version of it, and I think that's just a normal charged shotgun, but I know people like the charged shotgun, so we'll include it. The combat shotgun, if it was the old season 9/season 10 combat shotgun, I would 100% say yes. But when these came back in chapter 2 season 4 and they were heavily nerfed, they were dog. They were absolutely trash. So no on the combat shotguns. As sad it is for me to say that, I really loved this back in chapter 1 season 9, but after they nerfed it, no, definitely not including it in the loot pool. Double barrel, I know a lot of people actually do like the double barrel, so I'm gonna say yes on that one. We do have a lot of weapons, as I'm seeing here for the first. we do have a lot. For shotguns more, I would say if it's the older heavy shotgun, yes, but going on the more recent heavy shotgun, I would say no. For tacs, I know a lot of people actually do prefer tacs, so we'll say yes to that. One shotgun I don't see in here is going to be the lever, so I would say yes. I know there's a wide range of shotguns that people like, but since we do have a lot on here already, I'm gonna say no to the lever and just keep it as a general small shotgun loot pool. Going on into the RPGs, I'll say yes for the weaker ones. Not like the purple and legendary, but like maybe blue and green. Maybe I feel like that would be a bit more balanced for them. So yeah, I mean, for Halloween, definitely if you want to switch it out with the Halloween stuff, yes. For the boom bow, yes, absolutely yes. I love this when this was introduced in season 8, one of my favorite weapons to use. So 100% for the boom bow. Nothing from chapter 2 season 6. Absolutely no bows from chapter 2 season 6. Absolutely not. Those will definitely not be included in what would be my loot pool. Absolutely not. Grenade launcher, if it's the older grenade launcher, we're going to base it on the more recent versions of these weapons. The newer grenade launchers, I'm not really a big fan of. People just spam the absolute hell out of these, so no on the grenade launcher. For the guided missile launcher, I'm going to throw a little razzle dazzle in this loot pool and say yes. I feel like the guided missile launcher wouldn't be as OP, and I know I've said this in some of my more recent videos. I don't think it'd be as OP as it used to be, and I think it'd be kind of fun to throw it in there. Maybe if it's like definitely not in competitive, but more of like a casual basis pub lobbies, I think it would be given a try. It can be always taken out, you know. Proximity launchers and quad launchers, no. Snipers, I would definitely say heavy sniper comes back. I love the heavy sniper. And silence, no. Hunting rifles, yes. We'll just include I would say the normal hunting rifle. I guess, yeah, I guess you can go ahead and throw in like the purple and legendary versions of them. Bolt actions, yes, 100% to these. I don't know the difference between these two, but yeah, we'll just bolt actions definitely need to come back to the game. Hopefully they come back out next season. As for the crossbows, absolutely not. So that's going to wrap it up with the weapons. Going on into our items slash throwables, I would definitely say grenades should probably just stay. I don't really think there's anything wrong with them. Balloons, I think balloons should definitely come back. I think balloons were, you know, added more on that goofy side to Fortnite. The boogie bombs, I know a lot of people wanted these to come back, and I know a lot of people didn't want them to come back, but it added to, like, you know, with the balloons, it added on to that goofiness. So I would say boogie bombs should definitely come back. Boombox, definite no. Firecrackers, don't really care. Treasure maps, we have treasure maps in the game right now, and I actually think they're pretty fun to use. So yes, treasure maps. Bushes, yes, because it's more of that goofy side. The snow grenades, we'll probably say no to those. The clingers, we'll say yes, definitely. If it's not the boom sniper, 100% no to that. Crash pads, not really. I know a lot of people didn't like the crash pads because people just throw them down and it would break builds. Boxes, don't really care much for these. I think this is the where you throw this down and it creates like duplicate versions of yourself. I don't really think this is a big problem at all. We'll just throw it in there because I feel like it would be a little bit fun to see. Dynamites, no. Fireflies, no. Anything that is fire related, no. Fishing poles, I mean, that's kind of a given. If you're gonna have fish in the game, I'd say fishing poles, yes, so we'll just leave it down here. Glider redeploy, absolutely. Glider redeploy, I think, was a really good thing to include, especially if the people would try to knock down your builds. Glider redeploy was actually a really good thing to have. Now for this, I don't know why the name of this item has escaped my head. It's probably very obvious, and if you're in the comment section, please let me know what this is. I can probably look it up afterwards, but I don't know the name of this right now. But I think this definitely should come back because you can just, it's like I said, you can just use it get people off the, you know, top places, you know, buildings or mountains and stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, that can come back. For the jetpacks, not really much. I didn't really care for them. Now, this can stay away out of the game. In season 10, you guys, if you played season 10, you know what I'm talking about. No. Get rid of that. Absolutely not. Porta forts and porta fortresses. I would say porta fortresses, yes, because I feel like if you're gonna have it, you might as well have the better version of it. So I would say definitely yes to that. The proximity mines, not really much. C4 and Rift-to-Goes, yes. Rift-to-Goes are really fun, and I like these a lot. Shadow grenades, same things, were really fun. I actually hope this comes back. Shield bubbles, maybe. I mean, to stop third partings, I guess that would be a good thing to have. Smoke grenades, not really much. The snowmen, maybe around Christmas time, yes. Stink grenades, I say stink grenades can come back. The bottle storms, I think that's what it's called. I would say, yeah, it could help in situations where you're stuck in storm and need a heal and, you know, need a space to, you know, take some heals and not take damage. So I'd say, yeah, those can come back. Upgrade benches, I feel like that's a given. Don't really see why that would need to be included. Skipping this trap right here, going on into our heals. One thing that I will say for this season, I think this season included one of the best heals in the game with the med spray. Med spray 100% would have to be included in the heals, and I think it's, like I said, probably the best healing item that Fortnite has ever had in the game. Bandages, I think it's just kind of a must, just a general healing item. The presents, I guess, would be in throwable items. Yeah, around Christmas time, yes. Bandage bazooka, I say if we're gonna have any type of bazooka in the game, it probably would be the shield version. It's just much better. Chug jugs, yes, I think chug jugs should definitely come back. Splashes, 100%. Med kits, I think it's obvious. Big shields, obvious. Minis, I don't know why there's too many pictures here. Definitely gonna have to include minis, and I think that's gonna wrap it up for the heals. We do have an extra heal down here, but yeah, there's pretty much every heal I think should stay in the game. Going on into vehicles, I think ATKs should definitely be in the game. We're gonna have to include cars as well while we're at it, but I think just a more of a like goofier side to it. I think ATKs should definitely be in the game. Maybe not a lot of them, but I think it'd just be something fun to have. This one most definitely, I'm just kidding. I know some of you probably just got really questionable on my decision right there, but no. Helicopters, I'm gonna say no for right now. Helicopters were really annoying when people just ram the helicopter into these builds and just knock everybody down. Hoverboards, yes, hoverboards, especially I know a lot of trick shotters are gonna want this back in the game. And I think hoverboards, especially if you're playing solos or if you are by yourself, I think hoverboards are a really good mobility. Boats, yeah, if you're gonna have water, you're gonna have to include the boats. The cannons, I would say yes. I think cannons were a really fun way to move around the island, especially in season 8. Quad crashers, yeah, just something small, generic. Shopping carts, sure, why not? It'd be something that's just a bit more goofy. Ballers, yes, ballers are probably my favorite vehicle, and I really hope they find a way to come back. I guess the closest thing would be the Spider-Man mythics that are kind of like ballers, but yeah, I hope ballers 100% do come back to the game. Going on into the planes, no. Planes, no. So that's gonna wrap it up. We actually do have an item, I would say item slash throwables. I think we'll leave the grappler out. If we're gonna include Spider-Man mythics, there's really no point to have grapplers. So yeah, we'll leave grapplers down here and we'll just include Spider-Man mythics in the items section. For our traps, I'll say bouncers. Yes, you definitely have to have these. The freeze ones, I don't know what these traps are called off the top of my head, but I would say no for right now. I don't really remember this in the game, and I don't really think these were all that great. Campfires as a trap, yes, I think this really needs to come back. Regular traps, why not? If you can nerf these down to about, I think 75, I believe that's what they were not at. I think traps were like, what, 150 if I'm mistaken. If you can find a balance for the traps, I think they should definitely make a return. Launch pads, definitely 100%. Turrets, not so much. And then last but not least, for the darts, I would say no. So this is going to have to be what would be my perfect loot pool. Of course, like I said, I included some stuff that was in chapter 3 season 1. Be sure to comment down below any changes that you would make to your loot pool and what you like and don't like about mine. Other than that, be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys next video.